Morning, good morning, morning, morning. Thank you for letting me tune in. Thank you for letting me tune in, ladies and gentlemen. This is Coronado Water, Arizona, the Global Marketing George takeout of all 10-year, 15-year, 30-year corporate private public account. And I'm very enthused and enthusiastic now that I realize that you actually understand the difference between school and professionalism, ladies and gentlemen. You have decided to start being entertained by professional venues. There's one time you was taking your RV as old as you are, ladies and gentlemen. You're 70, you're 80, you're 60 something. And you post up at these places where these children need money, you know what I'm saying? They need money really bad, you know. And you take wads and wads of it with you, you know. Plenty of booze, plenty of barbecue, all the things that can tempt them, you know what I'm saying, to ask you for $1 or $2. Or to be your spring fling, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you, I'm glad that you finally graduated. I'm glad that you finally realized that there's a stiffer competition out there that you should be competing in to see if you should make it to the next stage in this existence, ladies and gentlemen. You have to get out there and compete with people that's doing it with people around their age group. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? No, not that, ladies. Because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there are always going to be beggars. You're going to see beggars in BMWs, beggars in Mercedes-Benzes, beggars and they're going to be in Lamborghinis because they mama and daddy put them in that. You know, but they're on a budget, though. They're on an allowance, ladies. For them to get any kind of sense of control, they mama and daddy have to perish, ladies. For them to get any sense or any piece of that money that bought that Lamborghini and that off-campus suite. You see what I'm saying, ladies? And I'm glad some of you got your Winnebagos and decided to sell your Winnebago and just go buy you a Lamborghini and go to a real venue where you can actually compete for a real prize, ladies and gentlemen, and not a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pending lawsuit. There's always that pending lawsuit. Even if they offer it to you, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Even if they offer it to you, at the end of the day, they need your money to survive. They don't need you. You don't look nice to them. You know what I'm saying? Their boyfriend looks nice to them. You know what I'm saying? You are a meal ticket to them. You know what I'm saying? And now a lot of people, they posted it. They was telling me that they was tired of it. And they seen that it was just something very unbalanced about it. You know what I'm saying? That all these people are going to these junior high school games, ladies. They're going to these junior high school games with their Winnebagos and stuff like that. You know, and these kids got their driver's permit when they 14 or 15, pulling up in their Lamborghinis and stuff. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they said, ladies and gentlemen, even though that's not the tradition, it's not the tradition and the heritage that people educated us on, they used it. They hijacked it. They used it for a ransom to say that that's just the way things are around here. And you got to get used to it. You either go hard or you go home. That's how they do it, ladies. I'm very proud of you, ladies. I'm very proud of you that the people that's decided to go a step farther and go ahead and go to a professional venue and compete with those guys and gals. Thank you. Thank you for doing that, you know. You saved, ladies and gentlemen, like I was trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of married men and women out there. And they have their own sets of difficulties and problems. And they don't walk away from it. A lot of times they don't walk away. A lot of times they just deal with it because they're married. You know, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people that have binding paper on them. But do they abide by the principles and terms of the conditions? No, they don't, ladies. There's a lot of products you buy. There's a lot of software you buy. There's a lot of computers you buy. And they have terms and conditions on there. Do you abide by it? No, you don't. There ain't nobody that abide by those terms and conditions. They get tired of it, they stop using it, and they go get something else. Every time, like, I'm tired of this computer. I'm tired of this laptop. I'm tired of this cell phone. I'm tired of this service provider. This sucks. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't abide by that terms and conditions. They leave it. They stop using it. They take it back. But you, ladies and gentlemen, you say that the reason why you still beating your wife up and the reason why your wife is still cheating on you with that 18-year-old is because you have family that needs you. The children need you. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? And that's not even the reason, ladies and gentlemen. There's another very sadistic, horrifically gruesome thing going on in that family. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, do you get tired of a TV, a computer, a software program? That thing got terms that you get tired of YouTube, Snapchat. You don't abide by that. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of that app that you bought. You're not paying for that app no more. You know what I'm saying? It's something, if they not doing what they said they was gonna do on their terms and conditions, you end it right then. You know what I'm saying? You call them people, they take money off your debit card, you like, look, put my money back on my debit card. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? That service sucks. You know what I'm saying? And ladies and gentlemen, why can't you do it when you married to somebody and you know it ain't going, it's not good for the kids, ladies and gentlemen? You know you're destroying those kids' future by the way you and your wife carrying on. The way you and your husband carrying on and the example that you leaving for your kids, ladies and gentlemen, can you blame them for smoking and drinking, ladies and gentlemen, and shooting up them opioids? If that's the only example they got to go home to, ladies and gentlemen, that's their only sense of stability, is that pattern that you got going on. That's sad, ladies. You showing them that you only have to do the minimum in this relationship. I only have to spend this much time with these children. You know what I'm saying? These children that you brought here on this planet, you only have to do the minimum. I'm talking about you doing less than the minimum. You living below the poverty line, and you're not trying to do any better. You living below the poverty line. You are going downtown and you applying for EPT. You're applying for Section 8. And that's the only thing you showing those kids. And you smoking and you drinking and you calling the dope man. And you sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry on a daily basis. Ladies and gentlemen, come on now. You mean to tell me you showing those kids that that's the way it's supposed to be? And you say, ladies and gentlemen, and how dare you say that you married to somebody? How dare you say that you married to somebody and you need the government to buy your food, lady? Huh? You showing these kids that you need somebody else to pay your bills and buy your food, and both of you have enough muscles and strength to go out and make money, lady. You see what I'm saying? Do you see the example that you're leaving for them? Just imagine the product that they gonna bring to society. Just imagine they gonna think that people owe them for nothing, like that. They gonna think that taxpayers that have their own family. Ladies and gentlemen, you have taxpayers out here that don't have anything. And the people that's getting EPT and food stamps and stuff like that and Section 8 off of them, they going to the club with Versace on, ladies and gentlemen. Bathing ape, ladies and gentlemen. Guess, heel figure. They going to school, man, with $300 Jordans on. You understand what I'm saying? And the people that's paying for their food and shelter, ladies and gentlemen, they can't even buy no khakis at Walmart, ladies and gentlemen. You understand what I'm saying? So all I try to tell you is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you, I know if God put something together, let no man take it apart, ladies and gentlemen. But God didn't put that together, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. I can tell you, that was lust and greed and envy is why you and your wife together. You don't love each other. You don't love your kids. You know what I'm saying? You there to get as many food stamps and as much WIC and as much as that as you can. So you can sell them and do other stuff, like buy opioids, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad you out there, you getting $1,500 of food stamps, and your kids still coming up to people asking for $5 or $10, you know what I'm saying? For doing nothing. I just, that's it. But if you can see the condition of the honest taxpayer, how this guy is living compared to how they living, and in their mind, some kind of way, somebody put them in a microwave, and they actually, for some reason, they actually think there's nothing wrong with that behavior. That they riding clean, they living clean, they sitting on plush furniture, ladies and gentlemen, and they not doing anything to have that furniture sitting in that house. They not doing anything. They not earning any kind of money to where they supposed to be living at that address, driving that car, or going down to Biloxi and blowing that money like that, ladies. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, ladies, but they holding your feet to the inferno, saying, guess what? You have to do right by your money so they can continue living their lifestyle. You have to continue paying your bills and paying your taxes and being an upright, outstanding citizen so they can keep on sinning and blowing your money. You see what I'm saying, lady? But I tell you, and I'm going to tell you the thing that exhausts people like me. Me telling you this and this motivational speech, it is not going to help me or you at all. Why? Because you already know this. There might be some children out there. There might be some people out there smoking recreational marijuana, teenagers in 20s and the 30s that might not be aware of it. But you know who you are. You already know the story. You're a powerful senator. You're in the House of Representatives. You already know this. And guess what? Me trying to be a martyr and to sacrifice myself to be a social justice guy, it ain't gonna do me no good like that. I'm wasting my breath. And you know why? Because you already know. You already know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? But you, as old as you are, as a radical liberal that you are, you telling people to keep on sitting on your butt. Keep on getting EPT. We'll take care of this for you. You pulling up in DC and a Lamborghini Diablo. But you driving down to Smiley Court and Trentham Court, and you going down to Tulane Court, and you telling them people to keep sitting on your butt and vote for Nancy Pepsi, so you can continue to sit down and do nothing and let somebody else out there suffer and pay their taxes and being an upright standing citizen, and they'll pay for you to have that Versace on your back. So you can go down to Biloxi and blow money that's not yours. So you can get 5 times the food stamps you deserve. So you can go sell them and go buy opioids and put them in your veins. And you can beat your wife, and your wife can sleep with an 18-year-old that takes out your trash when you gone. And your kids can witness that behavior, and they can continue that tradition as long as you vote for me. You can continue that, and your kids can continue that tradition. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? So basically, ladies and gentlemen, I did just probably waste about 7 minutes of my time because they already know that, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them on both sides know it. The people that's getting the EPT and they don't deserve it, they know it. And those radical liberals that's getting it for them, they know it. You know what I'm saying? They already know it. The only group of people that probably could benefit is probably their children that's listening or saying, damn, that makes sense. I didn't realize that, Or probably some college graduate that didn't really realize that that's really how it is, Even though you learning something different in U.S. government while you in school, you learning really how it's supposed to be. But you see that people playing the video game a whole different way, though. You see what I'm saying, Lena? And I'd like to tell you good morning. That's how I start that day off. And you hate to wake up like Andre Bruce and realize that people think you supposed to be subsidizing your money so they can live any kind of way they want to. And they don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? And you ask some people, the hell my money at? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And they've already come to a conclusion, including lawmakers, that you don't deserve that kind of money. You see what I'm saying? And how do they do that like that?